Mobility 31, we're in the 30s, we're in the 3s, would you believe? Mobility 31, we're going from toe to head, not head to toe. Toe to head, and we're going to spend a wee bit more time focusing on lower. First and foremost, we're not even going to dilly-dally, I'm not even going to talk my usual crap, because I've already done that off camera. We're going to get ourselves straight into our ankle stretch, okay? What do you need for that? You need a wall. You need a wall, you need a raised platform. Usually I'll use my beer keg, but I'm showing the versatility that you can have. Use a bench, anything that you can raise the toes up high on, and you can push down, and it feels that that foot is anchored, okay? That foot is not going to slide down the wall. You can put as much pressure, as much weight on that foot as you can, and it does not move. Once you've achieved that, listen in, okay? So I'm going to have the knees bent, slightly bent to start with, but it's important you've got a good prominent bend in the knee anyway, because we're trying to target the actual ankle, the Achilles area, in and around the actual ankle joint. Now what I'm going to do next is slowly just start getting up on top of it, shifting closer towards the wall, bench, whatever you're using. Push that knee forwards, okay? Now where do you feel it? You should be feeling it down at the actual ankle joint, okay? I'm going to try and chill out a bit more on this one, not talk the whole way through it, because I'm pretty sure yous are happy, okay? Yous are happy with most of these stretches now. But also, maybe you've got your music on, you're chilling out, and my voice is counteracting it. So I'll only talk when I need to. As always, with these stretches, you're working at your own pace, you're trying to take it outside your comfort zone, so now push your knee forward, okay? Now, again with this one, you can rock the knee backwards and forward just a few times, and that's going to help just loosen everything up, and it might improve the quality of the stretch, because you might find that you're fighting it a wee bit, and we don't want to be doing that, do we? So now I feel like I can't really go much further, so now the emphasis is on, for this last 30 seconds, pushing my knee forwards, okay? As soon as I start trying to push that knee forward, it's not really going to go anywhere, but I'm going to really enhance that stretch. But you must stay relaxed, okay? As relaxed as my face is right now, this is a pretty damn uncomfortable stretch. So that's what we're trying to get, okay? You're trying to take it to the point that your body's not quite happy going to. We're trying to introduce this new range so our body knows it's okay. So I'm going to slowly ease out of that one. Now the beauty of it is, if you're watching this on recorded and you really feel you need more time on these areas, you can just hit the pause button and do it twice through. Okay, so I'm going to change legs, change feet. So I'm going to get the toes nice and high up again. It's important we've got the ball, the actual ball of the foot, not so much, well, the toes are going to be in the wall, but you're wanting the ball of the foot planted on the wall. That's why you need to make sure it's nice and high up the wall, because that's the only way we're really going to get a good stretch on the ankles. Otherwise, we're going to start stretching out the toes and not much else, okay? Which is not what we're trying to achieve here. So you might find that one side's severely tighter than the other. Again, imbalance, part of life, I suppose. So all I'm going to do, I'm feeling this side jammed up a lot more than the other side, so I'm going to rock it back and forward a wee bit, okay? And that's going to just free up the tissue a little bit, help me relax into it so I'm not fighting it. Once I feel I'm getting a wee bit of a stretch on, again, you can see that I'm just shifting closer and closer to the wall or whatever it is that I'm holding on to. Not holding on to, but wedged. Now again, once you feel you're kind of at that limit, that's when the focus then becomes on trying to push the knee forward to enhance the stretch even more. Multitasking here. Having a protein shake while I stretch. Good. So we're going to go for another 20 seconds. So this is the point where you really are taking it further than you're able to. Not able to, but you get my point. Good. Relax. I want you to walk around full range with your foot, as in go heel to toe. Rock that and just let the blood flow and everything regulate again, because again it might be a little bit uncomfortable. Next up, we're going to use a wall. You're going to need a wall to lean into. Say a wall, anything you've got to hand. Leaning into it, okay? Now, usually with the ankle stretch, see these seagulls, man, they're terrible. try not to talk about the seagulls this video, as I'm well conscious that every video I talk about them, but they really are driving me nuts. Usually we focus on the actual joint. So now we're going to go a wee bit higher up to the meatier bit of the calf muscle itself now. So to do that, we don't bend the knee, okay? We don't bend the knee. So the leg that I'm stretching out here is the back leg, okay? And I'm stretching out the calf muscle. Remember, that's what I'm after here. Forget about this leg, the front leg, it's the rear leg. So what I'm doing, I'm leaning into the wall so that I'm almost falling into the wall, which is going to let me focus on getting the best stretch I can out of that calf muscle. Now what I'm trying to do is pin the heel to the ground and push forwards. And as a result, I'm going to lengthen out the calf muscle, okay? So it's a pretty easy one to feel. But again, you need to play around with your setup and your position. You can see I'm nice and low. I'm leaning into the wall. If I was to take my hands away, I would fly forward pretty quickly, you know, headbutting that wall, and that would be funny, wouldn't it? But that's the point, that's the pressure, that's the weight I'm trying to put in my arms. I've got a big stride with that other foot forward, so that there's plenty of weight on this back leg. Okay, and again, you're trying to push the heel down into the ground of the back leg, lengthening out all the muscles, and by keeping that knee locked out, you're going to hit the calf muscle higher up, okay? So again, we don't usually spend much time on this, but today we are. So again, all you're doing for these stretches, and I say it every mobility class, I'm pretty sure I say it at least 3 times during every mobility class, is you're not just holding this. You take it to that initial sticking point, and then for the duration of the stretch, usually 2 to 3 minutes per side, we're trying to take it further and further and further, but we have to stay relaxed, and that's why we do it in little gradual increments. You don't just decide to go woof, take it to the absolute limit, and you'll not be relaxed, okay? So last 10 seconds, really go for it, really push forwards, really push that heel down into the ground. And relax. Again, there'll be a little bit of discomfort probably. So walk around, let everything regulate. And without further ado, let's break into the other side. So again, it's pretty simple what we're trying to do. And again, it's up to you to play around with the position, okay? If you're shorter or taller than me, you might find your position just doesn't quite look the same as mine. But like I say, the purpose here is to push the heel down of the back leg, keep the knee locked out, try and get yourself nice and low. And again, if I was to move my hands away, I'd be straight into that wall with my head. Okay, I want to feel like I'm getting as much weight pushing down on this back leg as I can as I drink my protein shake. So don't be fooled by my relaxed posture, okay? I'm going for this, and this is pretty damn uncomfortable. And again, play around with the actual position you're in. Okay, just make sure your foot is actually facing forwards, as in your toes are facing forwards. If your toes aren't facing directly forward and they're facing out a little bit or in a little bit, you're going to change the emphasis onto the inner or outer part of your calf more, which maybe you might be tighter in, but I'd rather you focus just for this, on the whole, keeping your toes forward. Those seagulls are breeding by the day. I nearly took a video to put it up. In fact, you know what? I'm going to put one up. I'm going to put a video up so you can hear what it's like sitting trying to work. Try to use your brain, and all you can hear all day long is them squawking. And I mean, that is not bad. Wait till it's feeding time, oft. And then there's bird, oft a bit, I know, say poo. Bird poo everywhere. Everywhere, all over my windows, all over my tires, all over my van. So yeah, you can see I don't have a very healthy relationship with seagulls. So if you wonder why I'm ranting all the time, there is good reason. Okay, relax out there, everybody. Shake it out, walk around. Okay, get yourself your mat out, because now we're going to do the anterior tibialis. Okay, I like saying that because it's the only muscle I know. Right, okay, so it's probably not even that. Again, that's probably located in your elbow. I'm only kidding. Right, so we're getting this one down. Again, another important one for everybody. Okay, but more specifically, we're runners out there. Those of you who do a lot of running and you don't keep on top of your flexibility and mobility, especially in the ankles. Again, when you're running, your ankles are working through a very short range of movement, probably. So it tends to find you to tighten up a lot, okay? So this is a very important one, and again, it's about easing into it slowly because it If you do it often, it's not uncomfortable too much. You could probably find you can get straight down, back, and you're pretty relaxed. But if it's pretty awful, we have to make sure that we're gradually adding the weight on this one, okay? Because if you go in too fast and it's severely uncomfortable, you will not be relaxed, okay? So purpose here, as I keep saying every time we do it, your toes, top of your foot, you're trying to get the top of your foot flush on the ground, okay? And then you're trying to get your shin flush on the ground. So as a result, in at the front here, in at the front of the shin, in at the heel, you're trying to get that flat and touching the ground, okay? So depending how tight it is, it'll depend how much of a gap's in there, okay? Now all I'm doing is I'm just slowly sitting back. You need to make sure that your feet are wide apart enough for your butt to go beyond them, okay? So what I'm not trying to do is set my butt on my heels, because if I do that, I can't go any further. Then all I'm going to do is just gradually sit up a bit more. As a result, putting more weight down on there, but this is where you have to relax. So you might find, I can tell you now, as I put more weight on here, I'm starting to shake. Okay, I'm not relaxed, so I'm not going to go that far yet. Again, I'm just trying to talk you through it. But if you're feeling like you've got decent mobility, you can get straight back there, get all the weight on, or play around with it. You can sit up straight, yep, and just move your hands away completely. But for me right now, I would say that's probably not quite there yet, okay? If I do that, I'm not relaxed. But that's where you might find that you are, okay? So all I'm doing by going back and getting up on top of it is just getting more of my body weight pushing down on there. So I'm getting a better stretch, I'm enhancing the stretch. What did I say about not talking all the way through the mobility class? Can't help myself. Okay. It's amazing, I could talk all day to myself, but I can't hold a conversation with people face to face. How bizarre. Right, okay, so like I say, the purpose is I'm trying to get more weight, so once you eventually take all the weight off your arms, that's when it can get really uncomfortable. But you have to be careful here, okay? That if it's too uncomfortable, if you're getting pain, that's not good. Or you can get back here and just try again to get more body weight down on it, okay? So there's not much you can really do in terms of moving around within this stretch. It's pretty obvious it's a one-way kind of thing. So you're just trying to relax the whole part and just play around with your position to make sure you're getting the best stretch you can. But again, beginners, if it's real tight, you're probably still here going, ah! Okay, and it's just a case of making sure you're relaxed as best you can. Now we're going to ease out of it and probably you'll find that your shins are pretty uncomfortable coming out of that. So walk around and just relax it out a little bit. Good. Good. Right, again, as always, if you're on live and I miss anything out that you want, because it is still crowd participation to some degree, then please let your voice be known, okay? But apart from that, we're going to move up, and we're going to move up onto the quads, okay? Quad stretch, how do we stretch the quads? Pretty much like that one, there's only really one way we can do it. Well, there's multiple variations, but there's only one real way, and it's a case of grabbing the foot where the laces are, bringing the knees together, and then glute bridging, okay? So at the top of a glute bridge, I'm always telling you to squeeze the butt through. Yep, that's exactly what you're doing here. So this one requires a bit of effort. Now it helps if you hold on to something. It's not the end of the world if you don't, but this might happen and then I've lost that stretch. So I'm gonna go over here and hold on to this. So it's simple. You can hold this and let your mind wander and start thinking about other things, and you're just kind of holding a semi-stretch. That's not what we're after with this one. You have to consciously think about being at the top of that glute bridge, pushing the hips through, trying to lock the hips out, trying to pull the foot towards the bum, while trying to keep the knees together, okay? So you have to think about this one. You have to put a bit of effort into this one to get the most out of it. So let's go for that and make sure you're doing just that, please. Keep pushing those hips through. So again, varying levels of tightness and mobility and fitness. Just like anything, some people are going to be feeling this a lot. Other people, if it's fairly mobile, it'll feel all right. Okay, it just depends on how tight that area is. So I'm going to change legs there. Simple as. Change legs. grab the laces, knees together, straighten yourself up, make sure the pelvis isn't tilted, and then push the hips through and get that stretch on again, trying to relax. Trying to pull that foot into the butt while pushing the butt through and keeping the knees together. Simple stretch. Simple. The opposite knee, just try and make sure it's nice and soft, okay? You don't really want that knee locked out, putting all that stress on the joint, so just keep it soft. But again, push through. Push through with those hips. Okay, brilliant. Right, next up, hamstrings. Grab your towel, grab your resistance band. If it's a resistance band, make sure it's a thick one that can actually support the strength of your hamstrings. Okay, and if you've got a towel, I urge you to make sure your towel is long enough, okay? It's no use having a wee hand towel. Get a big bath towel and just whip it up a few times so it's almost like a rope, okay? Right, let's get the hamstrings done. Okay, hamstrings, you know the drill, but I'm going to explain it to you again anyway. Right, I'm going to do it at 45 degrees to you, because if you missed it last time, we're going to be putting the leg out left and the leg out right, okay? Time to feel some hurt, okay? So this one, you have to be relaxed. So I'm going to go at this angle so you can see exactly what I'm trying to do. Simple stretch. Opposite leg. This one stays completely relaxed. I want you to just imagine complete dead weight. I'm pulling my towel or my band, keeping that leg locked out. I'm going to fall back, okay? So all I'm doing here is getting myself set. So I'm making sure the foot's relaxed. Yep, I'm not fighting that resistance band that's completely relaxed. Knees locked out, has to be locked out, otherwise hamstrings shortened, hamstrings lengthened, hamstrings shortened, hamstrings lengthened. Okay, so it needs to be locked out. And then all I'm trying to do is move my foot back, 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 yeah, until I feel that sticking point, okay? So that sticking point, as in my hamstring feels at its full stretch. It's feeling pretty uncomfortable already, doesn't take much. Before I start trying to go further, you have to try and relax, okay? Focus on completely relaxing that leg. That'll help relax the muscle. Make sure you're not fighting the resistance band. Then the process begins, everybody. Okay? Millimetre. Yat. Feel it a wee bit more. Repeat. Make sure it's relaxed. Make sure the foot's relaxed. Make sure the knee's locked out. How's it feeling? Uncomfortable, but all right. Go another millimetre. Keep that going, okay? So for the next minute, I want you to make sure you're working on trying to increase that range of movement. So this one has I'd probably say there is quite a high level of discomfort when you're doing this one. It's a big muscle group, okay, and especially if it's feeling pretty tight, there could be a high level of discomfort. Make sure you don't move the foot back too far too soon, otherwise again, you're going to lose that relaxation of the leg, okay? It's going to become horrible. It's going to be all tensed up and shaking and fighting it. So keep trying to go further and further and further. Beautiful. Right, everybody, hold that there. For this next part, you're going to keep your leg in the same position it's in, as in completely locked out, completely relaxed, with the band or towel pulling your toes towards you. Happy? So now, what I'm going to do is keeping my whole pelvis and both butt cheeks on the floor. I'm going to pull the towel or resistance band down a bit harder, and I'm going to move that leg out to the side. Okay? Now, when I do that, I'm trying, you can see exactly what I'm doing now, okay? Pretty obvious. What I'm not doing is bending my knee. So let's go for it. What we're waiting for, Christmas to come. Let's go. What are we doing? He's having a laugh. Right, come on. So I'm going away. I'm doing my right leg. I'm off to the right side, okay? So what am I feeling now? I'm feeling it massively in at the groin. Yep, feeling it in the groin, but you must try to keep the pelvis, the hips, down on the floor. Now, if you can grab it one-handed, this is where a band's often better. I can grab that band one-handed and just lie back and relax, even though this is severely uncomfortable. Are we feeling that, everybody? Good, good, good. You think this is bad, wait till you go to the other side, okay? So this is us getting the groin in now. It's a good way to get the groin. Why? Because that band is really pulling everything in. It's resetting the joint. Okay, now I want you to come back up to the start position. Don't lose that tension on the band. Okay, and now this is the one that for most people, not everybody, for most people going the other way now, it's going to feel hellish. Okay, it really is uncomfortable. But before we go there and before you start entering that discomfort, make sure you're relaxed. Okay, you know the stretch we do when we're pretty much going in the same position and we pin the foot down, pin the leg down. It's the same stretch we're doing here, except the resistance band is going to take it to a whole new level, or the towel. Okay, so I'm across, I'm across, I'm across. While trying to keep my body as best I can. I don't turn my whole body, I keep my body twisting away, okay? Now check your leg out. Is the knee still locked out? Is it still relaxed? You're going to feel a hell of a lot of discomfort, probably anywhere from your hip, glutes, hip joint, down the IT band area, even still into the hamstrings. Now I'm holding that leg and I'm twisting away from it, just like I would. Okay, so this is the stretch we normally do, where we pin the leg with a hand, but because we've got that towel or resistance band, hopefully you're feeling it in a whole new level that you didn't quite feel it before. So again, you have to play around with it. You're trying to get that body twisting away, but you have to be relaxed. Okay, that's the biggest problem with this one. You'll probably find that it's a high level of discomfort for a lot of people, so they find it hard to relax. Try and move the leg higher up, make sure the knee's still locked out. And that's the key point with this. Don't let the knee flex. Don't start bending the knee on it, or otherwise you're just going to ease the stretch out. Okay, and then I want you just to come out of that. Okay, you can sit up. If you want to stand up and shake out, be my guest, okay? So that again, person to person, most people are going to find that way pretty uncomfortable, yep. Most people are going to feel their groin on the other way. How uncomfortable it feels just depends on you and how tight everything is, okay? Now, I can't emphasize it enough. For this stretch to work, you have to be relaxed. You have to keep the knee locked out, okay? So that's why you just have to focus on your deep breathing and try, if there is a high level of discomfort, not pain, try and disconnect from it, okay, mentally, and just focus on your breathing, okay? Try and channel your thoughts into your breathing to help you relax, okay? Right, okay, change legs. So the first part, we're just going to be holding the hamstring stretch. We're repeating what we just done, okay? I'm not going to talk you through it all. As long as you're relaxed, you're not fighting the band or the towel, and you're working on trying to move further and further through it for the next couple minutes, then you're getting something from it. If you're just holding it in a position and staying in that position, well, you're not going to find yourself getting any better. So it's just about moving it just a little bit, relax, move it a little bit, relax. Just gradually trying to increase that range, and it is, again, it can get pretty uncomfortable, this one. Just try to relax everything else. And again, make sure that foot is not pushing away. Make sure it's just completely relaxed. Keyword, make sure you're relaxed. Keep trying to go further. Keep trying to increase it as best you can. We're nearly there. Okay, so now we're going to go off to the left. Oh, sorry, I'm doing my left leg. So if you're doing your right, you're going to go to the right. If you're doing your left leg like I am, I'm going to go to the left. So I'm opening up the hips now. And again, you can Do it one-handed. Now what I'm trying to do, well not what I'm trying, both butt cheeks are on the floor, okay? I've not twisted towards it. Both butt cheeks are on the floor. I'm trying to keep that leg locked out, and then I'm trying to relax. Lift the leg a bit higher to increase the stretch. Where are you feeling it? Probably, well not probably, in the groin, 100% in the groin. So you're still trying to increase this one. How do you increase it? Move the leg higher up. Okay, and then I'm coming back up. And again, just like before, for most people going the next way now is probably going to be more uncomfortable than anything. So this is where, again, keep the knee locked out, keep pulling on the band or the towel, twist the leg across the body, get the foot on the floor, and then try to twist your body away from the foot. This leg has to be relaxed here, okay? It has to be relaxed. Making sure the knee's still locked out. If you feel, yep, that leg's completely relaxed, I've got a good bit of tension on my band or towel, feeling like I'm in a good position, take it a wee bit higher up. Take the leg a wee bit higher up, and you'll feel it all the more. But like I say, you're relaxed. It's so easy on this one to think you're relaxed when you're not. Try and sink into the ground, dead weight, all the muscles in the leg relaxed, especially up this area here. And relax out of that one, okay? So get up, get yourself up, walk around, let everything flow. Get a drink of water if you need it. Good work, okay? Good work there. So that's a damn good little sequence, that one. However, pretty uncomfortable at the same time. Right, groin. What groin stretch? The kneeling groin stretch. It's still my favourite, okay? Not my favourite, but it's the one that works. Why? Because you can just completely relax all your body weight down into it and get a damn good stretch from it. So kneeling groin stretch, okay? You're going to feel it in your groin. Okay? You definitely should feel it in your groin. All I'm doing, I'm on all fours. My knees, I'm trying to get my knees as wide apart as I can. The wider your knees are, the more you're lengthening out the groin, the adductors, okay? So knees nice and wide. Foot positioned behind the knee, not inwards, okay? That's going to help just open up your hips. And then again, for me, I like to just relax on the elbows. I'm trying to get as much weight onto my knees as possible. Then once I feel I've got my knees as wide apart as I can go, all I need to do is just move my hips back a wee bit, and I'm going to feel that stretch in at my groin. So hopefully you're feeling that. And then all it is a case of going back further and further and further, making sure you don't go back too far too soon and start letting the lower back round, okay? You start to feel your lower back round or your butt starting to tuck underneath your body, try to straighten it out, try to push the knees down, pull them apart a wee bit more. Just make sure you're keeping this in the groin, because if your butt starts to tuck, your groin is not lengthening anymore, okay? So again, you can see when I lift the weight off my arms, there's not much weight on there. They're just relaxed, gently. Most of the weight is on my knees. And again, it's a pretty simple stretch. It's pretty simple what way we need to go. You're going to feel that. And all I want you to do is try and take it further and further and further. So this also comes with a pretty high level of discomfort, as I'm sure you're well aware now, okay? So try and take it further, try to relax, try to make sure you're not pushing the knees into the ground, okay, to combat it. And I'll say no more. This is your stretch. Get with it. Get with it. Yes, get with it. But get out of it what you will, okay? The more work you put into this one, the better. But that's down to you. It'll look like I'm just holding this, but I can assure you I'm not. I am just adding a little bit more and more and more tension each time. And I'm far from relaxed, I can tell you. This is not pleasant, but I know it's going to do me the world of good, so I'm going to persevere. Last 30 seconds, so I want you to take it as far as you can now. This is the point where you really are pushing it. You're really going for it, but again, sensibly. Don't be hurting yourself. Good. Right, everybody. Slowly relax it, that one. And I definitely recommend you get up and maybe walk that one out. Okay, shake it out, see how that feels. Good. Hip flexors. Forget the sofa, forget the bench. We're going to do this one all together on the floor without it, okay? Because if you are really jammed up tight, you're probably not even going to get as far as getting the hip flexors stretched. So we're going to bypass the couch one where the foot's elevated, and we're all going to do it on the floor together, okay? Simple stretch. I'm getting down into the lunge position. In fact, I'd be better doing this side from this side. Big step forward, hip flexor. Right in the crease of the hip, feel that muscle. Stick your hand in there, you'll feel the muscle. Okay, it's like a tube. That's what we're trying to stretch out. Okay, so how do we do that? Get your body position nice. Okay, get a position nice, whatever that means. What I mean by that is, okay, I'll maybe be better facing you for this one. Don't, if it's feeling pretty tight, see how I'm lopsided? See how my pelvis is sitting at a corner kick? Obviously, I'm emphasising it. But before you start thinking about getting your, oh, get a bigger screen for goodness sake. Right, okay. So if you are pretty tight, before you even start thinking about getting into this stretch, line yourself up. Okay, so get this pelvis, get it lined, feel in for your hip bones, pelvis bones, whatever you want to call them. Get a grip of them and just line yourself up straight. Then from here, what am I doing? I want you to tuck the butt underneath the body, show you from the side. Okay, so the pelvis here, I'm tucking it underneath, hit like so. See what I'm doing there? And how do I do that? Squeeze my butt. Once I've got that tucked underneath that, what a beautiful noise. That is when I'm pushing through. Okay, so I'm tucking underneath and then pushing through. This foot, just move it further forward to get more weight onto this one, but that's something you have to work out. How much you can handle, how much you can do. So now I'm pushing forward, okay? So I'm pushing forward, I've got the butt tucked underneath, and then I'm pushing through. It's just the same principle as the quad stretch. Oh man, I'm going to be listening to that noise now all day. Hey. If you're trying to chill out, if you're trying to relax, I highly recommend you hit the mute button now, alright? Because otherwise you're going to be listening to that all damn day. So I'm still thinking consciously about this stretch. I'm trying to push through, I'm trying to enhance it, okay? I'm not relaxed. If you like, you can get your hands up. Okay, you can turn it into a proper warrior lunge. Okay, and that's maybe going to help you push through a bit more. But that's long enough, we're going to change there. Probably should have mentioned that at the start. So big step forward, I'll face you this time. So again, I'm up, I'm just getting my body lined up first, okay? I don't want you to go into a stretch so that you're lopsided like this, giving into it. Get your posture right, get your chest up proud, get your shoulder blades together. line the pelvis up, okay? Get that pelvis reset. Then tuck the body underneath, the butt underneath, and then push through. And that's it, I'm in the stretch. So again, if it is feeling tight, you can get your arms up, and that just acts as a bit more leverage to lean back. Helps you push your hips through. But if you don't like it, if it doesn't work for you, don't do it. I feel I'm getting a good enough stretch like this, to be honest. It's working well. Again, this stretch, just like your quad stretch, you have to consciously think about keeping the stretch on it, okay? You don't have gravity on your side so much with this one that you can just relax and let it do its thing. You've got to really push the butt through, okay? You've got to really try and actively think about this one. And I know it comes across that noise because I heard it in the recording last time and it's awful. Absolutely awful. Just thinking, these mobility classes, when the weather's like this, I could go up the Carrick Hills or something. How cool would that be? Why didn't I think of that before? It's a good idea, actually. Marine fitness on set. Right, relax. Where are we at now? Okay, we've done the lower limb, the very lower limb. We've worked up to the quads, the hamstrings, we've done the adductors, the groin, we've done the hip flexors, which leaves the glutes. Okay, time to get stuck into the glutes, everybody. Right, you ready for it? I'm sitting down, I'm sitting on the hip, foot's out 90 degrees. I'm going to pin that foot with the hand. Other leg, I'm going to throw it behind me. Still, 90 degree bend, I'm going to chuck it behind me as far as I can. Further behind you, you throw it, sooner you're going to feel a better stretch on those glutes. With this one, like I keep saying every time, you might feel it in the groin a little bit, or you might feel like it's stretching your groin more than your glutes. For the first part, that's okay, but then I'm going to talk you through how to enhance the glutes. So all I'm doing here with my hands, it's up to you. The aim is trying to get my chest down towards my knee without arching my back, okay? I'm just simply going down, and you'll feel it straight away. You'll feel the area that we're trying to stretch out, and again, it's either going to be the groin or the glutes or a bit of both, okay, outside of that hip. But it's important you don't just go like this, because all I've done there, yep, I've got down, but all I've done is arch my back. I've not actually lengthened out the glutes at all. Well, I have, but not much. So I'm trying to get down there by keeping my spine fairly neutral. And again, we're trying to relax, and it depends how tight it is. You might be finding this, or you might just be finding it's all right. Okay, now I've got my left leg out in front of me, so therefore I'm feeling it in my left glutes, left groin a wee bit. Why am I saying that? Because now I want you to do the opposite. So if you're doing the opposite leg, it's obviously going to be the opposite of what I'm about to tell you now. So I'm doing my left leg. I'm going to get my right arm. I'm going to put it down like I'm doing an elbow plank, and then I'm going to keep this stretch on. But I'm going to just twist my body away from my leg a wee bit and then go down. And hopefully that's just enough to put the emphasis a bit more on your glutes. Might feel this one in your lower back, everybody. Might feel it in a lot of places. Key point, relax. As always, make sure this leg, that hip is just sinking into the ground. And again, play around with it. You can twist away, go down. It's your stretch now. Work around it, try to enhance it any way you can. You know, I listened to that noise all day yesterday, literally all day. Even with the office door shut, and it was boiling yesterday. I was on the phone all day. I had to do a lot of phone stuff yesterday. I had to shut the door, and it was like an oven. And I could still hear that. In that exact rhythm. Comes on, it fades, it stops. Then you hear the machine, then you hear the noise, it comes on. And then on top of that, seagulls as well. Imagine that. It's like a torture chamber. Right, okay. How dare you say it's relaxing? How dare you? Right, okay. I'll give you 24 hours in here. You'd only need 3 and you'll be pulling your hair out. Right, everybody, we're ready. Next leg, make sure this leg's thrown behind you. Pin the foot, chest down, okay? So chest down without arching my back. Okay, I'm trying to get down there. So you're playing around with this position. So I'm not twisting away yet, I'm just trying to get the stretch, because if you are feeling it in your groin, that's fine, okay? It's not that it's wrong. Yes, it's a glute stretch we're trying to get out of this one, but if you're feeling it mostly in your groin, then it's quite obvious that your groin needs the work, okay? So that's fine. But again, most people, you're going to find a wee balance probably between the two. And it really does depend on how you've got that body tilted. So first part is just getting that initial stretch on. Oh. Okay, so I've got my right leg out. Yep. So now my left arm is pinned down and I'm going to twist. While maintaining the stretch, twist away from the leg slightly, okay? I don't want you hurting yourself. Slight twist, you don't need to twist that much. And hopefully, again, that's enough just to either enhance the glute stretch or bring it onto the glutes more. Okay, so I'm going to show you again. I'm going to show you again because I'm getting a confused face looking at me now. I've got the chest down. I'm doing my right leg, so it's obviously it's the opposite to what I'm about to say now if you're doing the other leg. I'm going to get my left arm, pin it, and that's just going to act as an anchor to allow me to twist away. And again, that's going to bring that emphasis down into the glutes a bit more. So play around with the position, play around with the angle, move around within the stretch, try to enhance it any way you can. Right, relax, relax. Bloody hell. There's the seagulls back. Right, okay, so lower back, we're going to lie in back. I'm trying to look calm while the rage inside is bubbling out. Right, so I'm lying flat on my back here. I'm lying flat on my back here and I'm going to tuck my knees in. So this is the bear hug one. Okay, this is us really going into that lower back, lower spine, and just getting a good bit of flexion on that spine. So we're going to curve that lower back up. Now again, a lot of people lose that fluidity of movement, oofed, in the lower spine, okay? It gets jammed up tight, that lower back gets jammed up tight. So the aim of this one is to try and free that up a little bit. But be careful, okay? Because we can get a lot of tension on this, and if it's real tight, you don't want too much too soon. So I'm going to bring the knees up, and I'm going to bear hug them, okay? Grab the knees, grab the wrist, okay? As if you mean business. Grab that wrist, whack, okay? And pull it in. That's me, I'm locked now, okay? I can really get a good wedged position. And then all I'm doing is I'm rolling back onto my upper back, and I'm just trying to relax here. So I'm trying to pull my knees towards my chest while letting my tailbone, my butt, sink towards the ground. That's what you're trying to imagine is happening here. Try to relax as best you can. Now again, if your spine's hurting on the floor, it's your own damn fault, okay? It's as simple as that. Get a better mat or get a mat in the first place. If your spine hurts because it's digging into the ground, that's your fault. It's not the stretch. It's getting faster. That noise is getting faster. Man. Good job I don't run yoga classes, that's all I'm saying. Imagine that. And breathe out. And in. Right, okay everybody, how are we feeling? We're ready to come out this one? Are we ready to come out this one, are we? Are we? Okay, let's do it then. Okay, so usually when you do this one, you'll feel a bit of jamming in here. Okay, now what I'm going to do, I'm just going to glute bridge up just to counteract that, lengthen out those hip flexors and everything again. Now you can see, I've done a glute bridge, but then look what I've done with my upper body. I've just rolled my shoulders down so that my shoulder blades are squeezed, and I'm really overextending my spine now. And I want you to push the hips up. Okay, push the hips up, plant the hands, and just try to focus on a really exaggerated glute bridge to the point in which your spine is massive, well, not massively, but overextended. Try and not solely use the glutes, try and use the arms as well. Okay, stretch everything out. You can really get a good stretch on with this one. Good. Come down, out of that. And slowly relax there. Good. So get up, get some water on board, shake yourselves out. And now we're going to finish off with the abdominals. We're going to finish off with the abdominals, the abs. Why? Because mine are killing me from all these blooming circuits these are making me do. And there's been a lot of core work recently. So we're going to do, it's the cobra stretch, but we're not going to go straight into that too soon. I want you to get down onto all fours. Okay, don't quote me on these names. I'm sure there'll be people that do yoga that know the exact names of these that I personally don't. And for the most part, I make them up as I go along. Okay. It's amazing what you can convince people when you think when you speak with conviction, people believe you. It's crazy. Do it for a living. Right, okay. So I'm planting the hands like a press up, and I want you to almost, for the first part, lift with the lower back muscles, and then push the hands into the ground. But be careful. Be careful, because this one is going to put a lot of strain on your lower back, so we have to stay relaxed. So for this first one, feeling a bit of tightness. Okay, if I'm honest, I'm feeling it. But then I want you to try and lift the head up, push the chest through, and just bring everything up a bit. Okay, so it's just like that cobra one we do from that downward dog one. Okay, except my legs are on the ground. So it's almost allowing me just to push through a wee bit more, get a bit more emphasis. Okay, now the purpose of this, let me remind you, is the core, the abdominals, up the front. So make sure we're not lifting the hips off the ground, because otherwise we're using the abdominals. I want the hips sunk on the ground, stomach muscles completely relaxed. Okay, you do not look relaxed. I'm not using your name. I'm trying not to these days when it's recorded, because everybody thinks I pick on you. But you do not look relaxed. You look like you're going to pop. Okay, so we're back down. We're back down. Okay, and adjust your hands if you need to. And then up, lift, lock out, boom. Look, chilled out here. I could probably hang out here for the next few days. Okay, I'm only kidding. Wouldn't want to do that, would you? So again, focus on those stomach muscles. I don't know if I can show you, because if I move one hand away, I'm probably going to roll over. But I'm trying to feel it all the way up my front. From my pelvis, all the way up to the top of my, not top of my rib cage, my lower rib cage, okay? Your core, your abs. Your abs, man. I'm trying to feel them. And again, you can enhance it any way you can, but be sensible. Just watch those lower backs. Nothing's tense here. The only thing working here is my triceps, because they're supporting me. My arms are supporting me in this position. Everything else is relaxed. So make sure you are. We're going to go down. We're going to do one more. We're going to do one more. Oh, going to do one more. Right, okay. Again, be careful with those lower backs. So I lift up, punch the hands out. My arms are supporting my weight. My hips are relaxed. And I'm just chilling out. Okay, so this is the last stretch of today. It's pretty much been lower body emphasis, which is good, because that's what I was going for. However, like I said at the beginning, well, I didn't say at the beginning actually, said it off camera, behind the scenes. Make sure you've got your foam roller and your little myofascial release ball. We'll come up with a better name for it, your lacrosse ball, for next session, okay? If you don't, you're going to look a bit silly when we start doing exercises with them, okay? So this is the last, it's not the last, as in we'll still be doing sessions like this, like a full body overhaul with just mobility and stretch exercises. But now, so I want you to relax out of that one. Good. But now we're going to be introducing them. It's going to take it to a whole new level. We're going to actually be able to target specific things, specific errors in your movement, and also just spend a bit more time on key areas. Again, now, most of these sessions are on the hour, which suits the people that do them. However, I'll put a poll up later. If you would rather it was just a focused area, and we spent a quick 20 to 30 minutes on it, if that would suit you better, or if it would suit the majority better and it gets more people in, then that's fine. Because I appreciate not everybody's got an hour to kill. But again, I enjoy the hour. It lets us focus on getting a lot more done, but it's even at an hour. It's a quick hour. It's a quick hour when you're doing it. So I'll put that up, so your feedback's always welcome. But aye, from today onwards, it's no longer a no equipment workout. Can't put that on the title anymore. Hoofed. You're going to need to go out and splash out on a foam roller for 15 quid and a myofascial release ball for £4.99 or maybe £5.99 if you're feeling like blown out, okay, if you want to buy the best. Okay, but I've put the links up. The links are in the group. They are in the group 100% because I remember typing them, okay? But again, they're my recommendations. That's not to say those are the ones you should buy. That's just to save people, because if you're like me, when I go to buy something, you go onto Amazon and there's about 1,000 of the thing that you're trying to buy and you end up going, oh no. So you end up looking for ages to narrow down what the best ones are. So I just put the ones up that I've got personal use with. Again, lacrosse ball, some people are going to be thinking, oh, I've got a tennis ball, that'll be all right. It won't be. Don't turn up with a tennis ball, okay? Tennis ball, you stand on it, the thing just flexes. You're not going to get any use out of it. Is it better than nothing? In my opinion, no, okay? Don't be a tight ass. Get it on Amazon. You'll get one tomorrow if you order it now. And it's cheap as chips, and it's worth having. Simple ball. Carry it around. Put it anywhere you want. You can even chuck it in the car, okay? I always have got mine. It sounds sad, but I've always got mine to hand, and see if I'm driving home in the van or whatever, I'll just wedge it in my back. So if you see me, you pass me in the van driving and you're thinking I'm looking a bit weird, that's what I'm doing, okay? I've not got a nervous twitch. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed mobility number 31. Again, your feedback's always welcome, okay? So if there's, even if somebody says, oh, you know what, I'd really like to focus on this area, that area, or whatever, you know, that gets me going. So please, your feedback is always welcome. Have a good day. Fed up talking, just beat it.